So all the money.
No.
giving back, community service.
Giving back.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah. When they were going to school, they had to go 2 by 2.
Holding hands, right?
They use AI to identify if you actually use AI, and they disqualify your application, which is stupid.
Guys, good evening and welcome. Let's do the season first, Kenny. Season 3, episode 5. Yay!
Finally.
You know, before very long, we will not know what day it is or what episode it is. But guys, welcome back. This evening, Brother Bunyan is unfortunately dispossessed, and so he's not going to be with us. So
This is still a secret bunker, by the way.
We're still in the secret bunker, yes, exactly.
Okay.
I'll be with you in a second,
So,
Adler. Give me 1 second. So guys, welcome back. So while Adler and I work out our new kind of how we do this, I thought we'd welcome back, or indeed welcome our guest, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to talk a little bit about Intelligence's needs. That's a long word. Talking of the NIST 2 updates coming in November, they're quite significant in their change and their implications for the cybersecurity industry. Intelligence has a lot of expertise and good skills in that department if it becomes relevant. Ooh. And I'm doing the business of the podcast. Did you notice? Then, of course, Intelligence would love to hear from you. Hit the button, subscribe and like. And, of course, hosts at InfoMattersPodcast.com if you have any needs in the recruitment world. Now, welcoming back Adler this evening. We have a wonderful guest, beautiful, and she's going to tell us a lot about her life and tell hopefully some funny stories. But Adler, would you care to introduce Denisa?
Thank you, Kenny.
You're welcome.
So this episode, as Kenny mentioned, is special because you have a more talented co-host and not the truck driver guy. So we are really, really excited here to have our guest here, Denisa Rohunova. Hi, Denisa.
Hi.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Look, you match.
Oh,
You look
it's beautiful.
cool.
Look at this.
Very on brand.
Yes.
You know.
Special lighting for you.
Exactly.
I love I'm not checking my messages, but looking at your profile, and I love the headline: Innovation Architect, making the complicated simple, founder of TASKYO, EU Innovation Star of 2024. Yes. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
So why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, about all of this, and whatever you want to highlight first, and then we'll just get into that and tell people about where we want to get from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, right. Well, since I was very small, I just hated when someone did things complicated, because I just like to do things.
Story of my life.
Like our size.
Yes.
Yes. We still do that.
Yeah, right.
It's okay. But I think that that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I just like to innovate people, and if there's a new technology, and if we can do something easier and cheaper also, then why not? So that's what I do. I started.
Sounds like a common sense, right?
Yeah.
Yes. When AI came, I was like the very first one. I just started using it exactly from
an early adopter, early innovator, if you like.
Yes, right. And I thought that everyone is doing that.
Yeah, it's easy to get into that when you think something so helpful would be immediately adopted.
So you actually triggered 2 questions in my head. I'm just going to go with the first one.
It.
Now, so you said when AI came, you were the first one. To me, the whole AI, let's say, journey or a presence in our lives, it's not. It wasn't like a light switch. It was kind of like started. To me, even the search engines were a form of AI, and then to the point that it became these personal assistant types in our devices, like I don't know. Siri or what is the other one?
You mean voice assistant? So
all
Alexa,
of these were Alexa. They were like forms of AI in some ways that they developed and they kind of became the form of what we call an AI now. So what do you call an AI? How was that AI journey for you? Where did you start and how did you progress with that?
Okay. Well, for me, it was, before, I meant the big boom, ChatGPT 3.0. Before that, I was actually programming, or I learned how to program, because I was at the university, okay? It's actually quite a long story, but I'll make it short. Okay. I studied digital business, and there was a lot of marketing, and I thought that I will be doing marketing. Okay. But then I tried some projects and I figured out that
I don't have to work so hard.
No,
okay.
I figured out that I can't make so much money with marketing. I was like, no, I want to be rich. I want to make a lot of money. So I was like, okay, what will
Beauty
be I
and
doing?
brains.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and I had very close to doing websites and to just IT. So I was like, okay, well, I can try to do programming. I didn't know nothing about programming, but I did a one year very intensive course in Java. It was like,
Wow.
yeah, it was 500 hours with mentor.
Wow.
I mean, I can spell Java, but much beyond that. But that's quite a.
You can spill
Yeah.
Java.
Coffee. I see what you did there. Yeah,
Oh.
and I mean that. Talk about intensive. That's about as intensive
Yes,
as it gets, right? Because
Yes,
Java's
yes.
quite complicated. From
it is
my
very
memory.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm more like Python, but at that time it was Java because Python is much easier.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
also that's a good step.
it-
I'm more
it's
like
good-
a Python now.
Yeah, right. It's good, and it's good to know that Java was hard, but
Python.
I've moved on
Yes.
into
Yeah.
Python. Okay,
Yeah.
liking
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, and then the AI boom came. So
Yes.
it was like very fast for me. So when the first ChatGPT came, I started using it. Yes. And I thought everyone is doing it. I said it already.
Yeah.
But in a few months, I figured out that people
Nobody's
not
using it. So
Not
you're
really.
a little bit of an early adopter. I mean, certainly, I think the boom comes for everyone when they start because they
Yeah.
realise they can just chat to this thing. I did it earlier when I was doing some planning. And of course, the world has moved on. We said that in development terms that ChatGPT-4 wrote ChatGPT-3 and ChatGPT-5 is the result of GPT-4 learning.
Yeah.
Because the time between releases got shorter and shorter and shorter, and maybe we'll get to real time development in the world, and you'll just shout in your coffee cup and whatever you need
Basically,
in
machine
Java.
learning. It just
Of course,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense. No idea if that's factually correct. It does sound like something that would be naturally evolving. In which case, Skynet's coming. We're all going to live in a bunker. Let's not get controversial.
Secret bunker.
Secret bunker, yeah, exactly.
Where we are now.
And so you're in university. I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier, but our producer's 7,400 years old. The internet didn't exist. He actually had to do the paperwork. Actually, so did you and I, frankly.
when they were going to school, they had to go 2 by 2.
Holding hands, right?
That
So
was
I-
in Noah's time.
I love
You know?
I love the idea that you had the option. Maybe of course the choice, but to go from this is not going to work in marketing. It's not going to give me my boat in the Czech Republic, the famous, not landlocked country, or you're a butler and you're all that. I love this. So you thought, scratch that. I was going to say fuck, but I won't scratch that. And then you pivot into programming. You do a hard that's a hard ass language, and then you arrive at the early doors of AI. So what have you done since then? It sounds like you're quite excited by this.
What did I do?
Since you started realizing that AI is going to be faster and better, it's going to buy you a boat.
Okay.
What did you do since then?
So also I started learning to automate processes. So I didn't make a lot. I was just learning by doing. I automated
Big fan.
things.
So you're self-taught in the chat GPT world and the prompts and all of the usage of the AI. You didn't take any advanced, let's say, academical course or anything. You learned by yourself.
I did actually take one. It was like AI coach and ambassador from Ability. It's one company. It was a very good one. I did that, but I think I mostly learned by myself. Yes. But so since people didn't use AI a lot, but I used it a lot. They asked me, okay, can you help me with it? Can you show me? And I had friends from companies also, so they asked me to do the things for the company, and then I was like, oh,
see. So ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Yes.
Okay, you can ask me, but here's my invoice. I can see where you, and that's
So
the way
that's
it went.
the idea
Yeah.
that created the TASKYO. That's how it became into.
It started like that.
Right.
But then one day, someone called me. And they were like, oh, I heard about you. Do you do workshops about AI in companies? Like workshops. I was like, oh, I didn't do that. But I was like,
You're like, yes,
yes.
absolutely. Well, yeah, we have lots of workshop experience. Yeah.
Yes,
You
I was
have
like,
great
yes.
people around you. They all, bring you to these ideas of business and development. All of my friends, they just call and say, "You want to have a drink?" That's all they ever
It's
ask.
so true. Yeah.
No one
Good to
ever
see you,
says,
Adler,
"Hey,
yeah.
let's just go invent
Absolutely.
something."
So they
Yes.
gave you so that started this, right? Okay, keep going. So I have visions of where this is going, but
Yes.
go and
So-
tell us the story.
So for 1 week, whole week, I was just preparing for the workshop to make
Using
it great.
AI.
Yes,
course.
of course.
Yes.
Trusting me, must be. And then the workshop, I was super nervous. Like I must admit, I was super nervous. I had like blackout in front of me, but in the end, it was great, and I got a great feedback. So I was like, oh, this is actually something that I like. So
Wow.
I continued.
I mean, you could argue, and of course, I'm sure there was lots of preparation that if they don't know what to expect, they can't be upset, right? you can run some really
Yes.
cool AI shit, and they're never going to know. Cool. So it sounds as though it grew from there, and you're now doing, I guess, more of these workshops. And is your work like doing the work, or is it talking about doing the work? What do you? Or is it 50-50?
It's both. It's
Okay.
50-50. But my partner, he was with me, and he was very curious about automations, and we did it both together.
Wow.
So we started the business together. We were like, okay, this is something that can make us money, and we were still at the university. So we were like,
Wow.
okay, let's do a company and let's try how it's going to be.
Do you want to know what I did in high school? I made badges. True story.
Yeah.
True. I made
AI badges.
No, there was no AI about it. It was
Yeah.
like, no.
Oh yeah, that's actually. I did that when I was in. I think in maybe middle school. I used to make fake FBI IDs and stuff for my friends. Like not really like a real one, like as a joke that we would just go pretend we were police and stuff.
Did make fake ID.
Not ID.
No,
like
I know,
a,
I know, but I'm
yeah.
admitting on TV. I don't give a shit now.
Yeah.
When I was 18, people. I mean, I was always a
could have
short
been.
ass, and you had all my friends were
What do you
typically,
mean you were?
typically tall. I am a short ass, and I made fake ID. Dundee Institute of Technology, and then you go to the pub door and you go, "What's your date of birth?" And you go, "What it says on the card." You get busted. Yeah, I know. So lots of high school. I'm glad to hear you were slightly more adventurous in your plans. Cool. Okay.
So what I was gonna ask earlier on, you mentioned something that was very interesting because you said from early age you always wanted to do things simpler and you always wanted to make things
Easy.
faster and easier.
Yeah.
And when you started using AI, and then you realized a lot of people aren't doing that. And I also agree. I think we all have been part of the world that people are making things more complicated rather than making it more simpler. What do you think being part of that world, and what do you think the reason behind that is? What do you think that diverges people from making things simpler to making it even more complicated?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a philosophical question.
Yeah. Well, I think that mostly it's about we people don't like to do changes.
Yeah.
To be,
We're creatures of habit.
Yes,
Yeah.
we just like to do things as we're doing them for 20 years. And I think most people are like that. So that's like the whole thing for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we don't like to change, but things
Yes.
around us are changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we keep doing the same thing, so it becomes more complicated because everything else is changing around
Yeah.
us. So we don't adapt to it.
Yeah,
So
like
that causes the complication.
that's what I
Great
hear a
answer.
lot. It's like I'm doing this for 20 years and it's working. So I have no reason to change it.
Yeah, it's the old story of we've always done it this way, which
exactly.
and in security terms, of course, that's rubbish because security risks get higher. Of course, you have to change. So it's kind of my life, but I do like the idea, and we're going to come to the obvious point here. I'm going to ask your opinion, but of course, the trend of AI is now, of course, involved in everything, and I'm fascinated about we were chatting in the cafe in a pre-brief around automation. It's kind of a big part of my life, but everyone's scared of what AI is going to do. Go on, give us your big line of thinking as to how AI is going to affect. I mean, and perhaps to Adler's point, it's kind of if you don't change, but you should change.
I think a lot AI is going to affect us a lot. Actually, last week I was at a conference in Ostrava as a speaker, and now AI is like a big topic, so everyone is talking about it. And they were, of course, talking about it. It was about marketing, the conference mainly, but the speakers, we had like a panel at the end, and they were asking their opinions about AI, how the future is going to be, and most of them, like, they said, oh, well, it's still not capable of most things, but in 5 years, I think maybe, it's going to be better, and maybe in 20 years, if someone is not going to use AI, it's going to be bad. I was like, oh my God, like in 20 years.
You're already there.
No, well, he's screwed, but because he'll be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
We might be towards the end of our career. You'll still be 15, and all that kind of stuff, right?
You're the lucky one.
You won't have to deal with it because you'll be 3 feet in the ground, 3 feet, 12 feet.
6 maybe.
6 feet under.
Sorry to say, they were like, okay, in 5 years, ChatGPT is going to be better, and
of course.
Perfect. I was like, oh, in 5 years, maybe there will be no ChatGPT. I believe that there will be no ChatGPT.
No, you'll just put a SIM card in your ear and be on the line and think something, and then
already
Apple iPods. Sorry, I didn't mean to market for them. I hate their products, but they already have the headphones that
they do real-time translation.
Real time translates with AI and everything. So I don't really think you to your point. I think it's true that it won't be to the way that we're using ChatGPT. It won't be anymore. In 5 years.
You won't fire up an app or go to a website or it'll just happen. So you take the phone call. In a different language, it'll automatically translate. Good example. Or if you need to do something in Outlook or your development environment or your whatever it might be, you'll just tell it and then go back to your book.
There will be robots with integrated ChatGPT.
Yeah, right. Well, right.
And they just run around and do things.
And we won't be here. There'll be some digital version. You'll be in Ostrava, and you'll be
holograms.
Holograms, right? We'll be holograms.
Like Red Dwarf.
And we don't need cameras because we can just do it. And he's redundant. Yay!
Yes.
I see.
So that doesn't sound like a very pretty future, though. So how do you like imagine the future with people and to enable us to have better lives with the use of the AI?
Well, I think that the life will be easier because now people, for me, what I wish for, and I think it's going to be happen, but no one knows what will happen. Now we spend a lot of time on the computer typing, and I believe that in the future, for example, 5 years, maybe even earlier, there will be just agents.
Yeah.
And we'll just take our phone and we'll say, okay, I want this, and it's just going to happen, as you said.
Yeah.
So we won't have to spend so much time on the computer,
which is great. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to get the point. At the moment, GPTs, all the kind of AIs are very prompt based. And everyone worries that when they start thinking for themselves, they're all very. None of these AIs will do anything unless you prompt them to do something. And then, what I've noticed, it will go off and quite literally continue until sometimes the thing you started is not where you ended up. I want an app that looks like this. No worries. Would you like green shoes? Don't quite know where that's going to go, but it does seem to be never ending. So they're very prompt based, and you kind of have to know how to prompt these things. So the safety is that unless you prompt it, nothing happens. It's like an engine without the key. The key is the prompt. And so we're safe insofar for as long as this technology requires us to think for it. And that's what I always say. So I love the idea that life would get simpler. Some people who don't think are screwed. I don't quite know what they're going to do with their lives, but we can't fix all the problems. But I do like the idea that things would get simpler, dare we say faster, and maybe we do more stuff, more good.
Yes. Of course.
Type stuff.
Yeah. That's a little bit controversial, I think, because
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah, because also like what you just mentioned, I actually had that experience that I started using ChatGPT to learn a little bit about some type of meditation, which is a very serious thing. It's not even funny. But then I ended up with all this back and forth. I ended up doing a stand-up routine and having it given into ChatGPT to give me feedback, because within that
tangent much?
It just kind of like it just with the questions and answers and things, they just say, haha, you're funny. I was just being myself, just like saying, hey, blah blah. It was a transcendent meditation, which I didn't know anything about. I just wanted to learn a little bit about. and it just turned out to trigger me to say,
to prompt it again and again.
I have stand-up ideas, so why don't I just give that to ChatGPT and see how it reacts as an audience and help me to, and it just became a completely different conversation to that.
Yeah, so I've seen that as well, and I think you have to know how to keep it now. And we know that these AI models hallucinate; they end up coming out with maybe less so now again.
But also, in the end, always when you want something, for example, for ChatGPT, in the end, it asks you, do you want me to create this?
Yes.
Do you want me to? I think that's
exactly.
But you can turn that off, actually.
Oh, okay. See, good trick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Because that's what I was going to say, where the controversy comes in, because you're not always the one thinking, but it gives you, do you want me to do that?
Yes.
You go, yes.
Yeah, no, of course.
You're not in charge anymore.
Yeah.
That's the tool.
Because
that's a good point to know that you can turn it off.
Because we as humans are naturally curious. So if you're asked, would you like it in pink or blue, or as a simple example, that's all. Yeah. And would you like it green with blue? And then of course the next thing you know, you're buying shoes, all that kind of stuff. And so, go on, Adler,
so what I was going to ask is, you typically have individual clients now, as well as companies that you help to find the use cases for AI. What are the typical use cases that you are asked to help with? It's not just prompting and finding a recipe or some search. So, what are the things that is interesting to you that you come across with?
If it's a company. We talk about processes. It's mostly the intern processes,
right?
The administration, because there's a lot of things to fix. I mean, to automate.
Yeah.
The financials. Now, when I was in a company and we were mapping the processes in the financials, there were 3 people, and when we were mapping the processes, we figured out that 2 of them, they're actually just doing the routine tasks only the whole day. For example, one guy, he got an email, and he with an invoice, and he downloaded the invoice. But that's okay. Like no, I'm not like.
I'm laughing because I think I know where this is going. But go on.
So he downloaded the invoice into his computer, and he put it manually into a file, and then he printed out the invoice, put it in front of his computer, and then opened a system.
Dear Lord.
And he was typing in like.
But how do you copy off the print? You don't just copy off the PDF. Somebody has. How can I make this a full-time job? Let's print it, photograph it, scan it, PDF yourself, print it again. I can see where that. So he now works at McDonald's.
That's usually the entire HR department that they are doing these things that are completely unnecessary.
They didn't kick him off. No. He's now doing something else. Actually, he didn't want to do that. He was when I came, he was like, "Okay, just get me rid of this job.
Nonsense."
Right. Yes, I want to do something else.
And we should point out, we talk a lot about AI in this show, and I'm sure everyone's going, but automation, which is now AI powered, can do some really smart shit. So I imagine a lot, and there's tools out there. I was explaining to Denisa earlier that I've experimented with Zapier, NAN, Make.com, Czech company here in the secret bunker. Of course, we're not in the Czech Republic, we're somewhere secret. And the fact that Denisa from Ostrava is irrelevant. Moving on, and so...
Travelled a long way.
Absolutely, yes.
Long way.
She came here to see us. Danny, you're so missed. I'm sorry you're missed. We'll send you a picture. And so all these tools. So while we always make fun.
You're talking in the camera during a video that will send you a picture. It's
I'll
like the
send
guy
you the
who
proof
downloads the invoice and types it back in again.
See, it's already built in. Moving on.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, but I wanted to get across the point of automation. We should all consider automation, and of course, AI-powered automation doesn't necessarily risk jobs. And I'm glad to hear that our man's still around. You still got to oversee these things. There's still going to be mistakes, still compliance, all that kind of stuff. But it is good to get rid of the mundane jobs or the boring jobs. And if I could do my job, which is a quality 40, 50 hour week in 35 hours, and give myself some thinking time about how I could improve things, yes. I don't know if I'm going to have a boat or a butler or all this time, but that would be great to have some time saving to do perhaps some more creative things. And of course, and there's 5 people in your company now, see, you're going to have some, keep these guys busy, do some business development. It'd be good to have some free time. for that sort of stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Sure.
and you also mentioned in your profile, not here, that you work with Czech television.
Oh,
What
I
is
was.
that?
I
Oh,
was
you
in
were.
Czech television.
Oh, you
Yes.
were.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, in relation to AI and the same business that you
Oh.
mentioned, or what was the involvement in Czech television?
The involvement was that there's a show in the Czech television, and there are people coming and talking about things, and they asked me to come.
Oh, so you were there as a
television.
guest.
Oh, you were a guest.
Yes, I was the
It's
guest.
like
and
a chat show,
yes.
like this.
like
yeah,
this.
like yes.
But
yes.
with less cameras.
not with beautiful lights like this.
No.
Yeah.
True
Okay.
story, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was showing the people from all around the Czech Republic, they were looking at the TV, and I was showing them how to use AI, like very simple.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very good. Very nice experience.
And I think that this is obviously is going to be something that is going to be incorporated into the education system sooner rather than
Yeah.
later.
Has to be. Well,
Yes. Did
I
you
hope
ever
so.
had a vision to maybe start with the children to teach or something like this to kind of expand your
Opportunities
boundaries
are, yeah.
outside of the professional world?
I did it already sometimes
Oh, you
when
did?
I feel like I want to do nice stuff and good things.
Ah,
You know?
that's nice.
So,
So-
yeah,
so
I
all
was
the
in
money
school.
you got from-
No.
giving back, community service,
Giving back.
yeah, that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, but I was in a couple of schools,
Mhm.
and I was teaching the teachers,
Uh-huh.
but also the children, how to use AI to help them to learn, not to just do.
Roblox and games
Yes,
and
yes, but-
scrolling and all that
yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, so
was very
that's
nice.
that's a very good point, because one of the nightmares that I have now is that the generations to come, they have everything thought out for them. They don't use their brain anymore. Everybody is just after having followers and clicks and
And all
likes,
that nonsense,
and they
yeah.
don't want to learn anything. There is no profession that anybody learns. Everybody's a digital
content creator or like,
or
which
or
I-
an influencer.
wait.
It's like these are the jobs that they have.
I fully believe
I mean-
that's still not a job.
Exactly.
That's just
It-
filling the internet full of shit.
yeah, but
Controversially,
they are
and
highly
if you are one, I do apologise.
they're highly paid
get a job
people. Yeah, they're highly paid people. That,
because the
that
platform's
think-
given them an audience,
Exactly.
and they've got nice.
So
ears.
my biggest fear is that the younger the generation they are, the less they actually are willing to learn and to
And the less they
use
strive
their own
for a
brain,
trade,
to use
yeah.
their own,
Yeah.
let's say, decision-making power and critical thinking power. It's just that prompt, tell me
Yeah.
everything. So how do you think we can offset that by somehow correctly using AI
Yeah.
and the tools to not become a
Or
domination?
are they screwed?
I don't think
No,
that's
okay,
good.
good. No.
The main thing is education.
Mhm.
We have to teach and show the children how to use AI properly.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends how the people are. Some people, some children, they will be very proactive and
Yeah.
they will want to learn
Mm.
and to have it here.
Yeah.
But some won't. So it depends. But I don't think AI is so powerful that they just would have to
Not
stop
yet.
using
Yeah,
their
no,
brains. And in fact, what I
Mhm.
learned in school, 70% or 80% of things I think I will never use. Okay. I had to learn what I really used. I learned by myself. So
I might have
in the
to.
Czech
That's
system.
correct.
I think the universal. I mean, schooling to a certain point, even in high school, we used to have something called long division, which had lots of scientific lines and numbers, and I've never used that in Tesco's. It's add,
Yeah.
subtract, multiply, and divide, and work out a percentage. No,
Yeah,
and
but-
that's not because we had AI and calculators. It's just because that's what the world runs on. I'm sure there are a small proportion of people who use it. Now, it does teach critical thinking and analysis
Exactly,
and
and that's the
problem
thing.
solving.
It
And
teaches
so
you.
I'm not entirely dismissive of it.
Yeah, it develops your brain in
yes.
a way that you learn how to learn. So
Yeah.
you learn in school how
like
to
that.
find
Yeah.
information, and then when you grow up, you know what information you're looking for, so you know how to go and
Yeah.
find it and research it and learn,
Yeah.
from what you were interested in.
And even taking taking that a step further. And the producers woke up. He's got a question just behind you, Adler.
He's
So
still here.
we should probably let him in.
Oh.
But even within the not the reasoning, the prompting of AI apps, whatever they may be, it's in my case. I'm older, and so I know how to challenge it and prompt it. We run the risk of AI, people asking the question and just believing what it says in the first instance, you know, and I think in the education you kind of have to know and say, it's not quite true, or maybe we do it a different way, because the AI thing will learn, you know.
Yeah,
agree.
And can we, you know, and our education authorities taking this on or not really, or is it just a bit of an exciting thing because they can use their phones in class?
It's getting better.
Okay, good.
How were your couple of experiences perceived by the children when you were in those classes? Were they excited, or were they like bored, or were they just happy to see you because you're pretty, or what was the?
They were actually very excited. Okay. Yes, they liked it. But of course, I showed them things to make them excited. But I was surprised. Yes, I really liked it. But I just wanted to add that you know, for me, I must say this, because of AI, I'm actually much more smarter than I was before.
Interesting.
Yes, like for me, I learned how to make website by myself.
Yeah.
As I talked about the programming, I was helping myself so much, because without AI, oh my god, so hard.
Okay. So, but wait, sorry, just a quick question to that. So if we take AI away from you, can you make your website by yourself now? Did you learn how to make a website, or did you learn to use AI to make you a website?
I think I can make it, but with AI, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's I think the correct
and that's a good way to put it, because I used to code. I can't code. I probably am better than I think I am. But what I have a lot of the time, and actually today I was doing some connectivity stuff in my lab at home. Fancy, and I have AI built into the developer, into code, so it corrects it, and I can see. Now I'm not suggesting at 49 years of age it all goes in. Some of it goes into my head, and I will remember. So I totally understand what you're saying. We should, you know, if we totally hand over the development to AI, then that's not learning development. That's learning to use AI to develop.
And this is the fear, because I don't know if you agree, but majority of people are lazy. They like you are a proactive, smart, independent entrepreneur who like to learn and grow and develop.
Has made a business out of
most people, they just want to sit and do nothing and just everything have come to them.
But that's where the innovation comes from, because we're lazy and we want to make our lives easier. That's where everything came.
and there was a book called The Lazy Project Manager, and everyone assumes that the headline was all about the content. Actually, no, the content was all about how to afford to be lazy. Which is all about way before AI. All about driving efficiency.
Bill Gates, who said that if you want to find a new way of doing something, give it to the laziest person. Because they always find the easiest way to do it.
They'll find the easiest way to do it. Conversely, it was if you want something done, ask a busy man or lady to do it, because they will find the easiest way and the slickest way to do it. One of the two ways. And yes, there will be people that may need to be, what's the word, redeployed or reskilled, and we know these risks. My view is there was always going to be the advancement of, and it's not just technology, the advancement of processes and other skills external to you would prompt you to be redundant, at least at one thing you do, and therefore need it. It's not exclusively in wholesale, all that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah. So here's a bit of a controversial view, right? Imagine a world in, let's say, 10 years, right?
Imagine Ostrava in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It would still be 1974. I did not mean that. I did not mean that. I take that back.
Yes.
True story.
Okay.
No, yes, yeah.
I agree.
How dare you? How dare you? 1972. Yeah. So imagine in 10 years where everything is AI driven, everybody's using AI thanks to your services and your education, and the world. And everyone's, you know, having a trace of AI into their work. Then a person who is not doing that, their skills and their mindset becomes so scarce that becomes the most desired, let's say, mindset, because everybody else, like even now I know for a fact that if you create profiles, let's say on LinkedIn using AI, even though it's encouraged, everybody wants to be able to use AI, but when you do, companies who are looking for those profiles, they use AI to identify if you actually use AI, and they disqualify your application, which is stupid.
I believe they can't tell that. If you do it correctly, if
Yes.
you know
If
how
you know,
to use AI,
well,
Yes.
it's
they
all
won't
to do
tell.
with the
Correct.
watermarks.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
I actually noticed that even AIs like LinkedIn AI, for example, it gives you a reminder to double check and to redo
Yes,
it
yes,
so
yes.
that it won't be flagged. But what's the point of giving us a tool that we can use?
If the people using the
Where
tool
they
for
have-
are the ones going to
Yes, so they can flag it. So they can flag it that we shouldn't be using it.
And by the way, if
It's
you're
a
not
bit-
if you're not familiar with GPT, be that chat or whatever, watermarks, Google it. You'll get an AI response, which is a strange irony. It's probably very obvious that when you use ChatGPT generated text, it's where you use it is detectable. And we talked. We had Adam on last week, Mr. Producer Sir, and he talked about generative AI. Now, there's another element to that. Generative AI is you prompt an AI with a scenario, and it of course comes back. You do have, and I think there's a word for it, and Adam last week used it. I've forgotten, which is where you use AI tooling, and in Adam's case, he was using it to process at volume a lot of pictures and editing and that sort of stuff for things that pre-existed. So your man with the invoice, you with your training, if you wanted to put it through and edit it in some way or style it, I know.
Yeah,
Office
that's like all this.
all of that
Photoshop
is
and
also
all of those,
all of that
yeah.
stuff is time saving or creative or
Yes.
Yeah, but that's exactly. That's
it doesn't have to be
that's
generative.
another-
Being my point, yeah.
That's another example. For example, if you do an edited picture with AI,
Yeah,
then the watermarks are visible. So
yeah.
So that is not having the same value as having a picture taken
Yes.
with a camera that has AI incorporated
yeah,
in it.
exactly.
So
So there's
a
really
lot
no
of-
escaping it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So wait, where would we draw that line? And how you mentioned a couple of times correct use of AI.
Yes.
How would you define a correct use of AI that would not backfire in people
Okay.
and in
Professionally,
the
yeah.
world?
Okay.
You know.
Well, first of all, if you make something in AI, you have to check it. You can't just
You're
say,
responsible.
okay,
Yeah.
you're responsible. And usually, if I do something with AI, I check it and I change it a little bit. Not every time. I have AI, I mean GPTs, assistants in ChatGPT, and they're so great that
You mean the
usually-
agents?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I don't have to change anything almost because it's great.
And you
But-
trust it and them? You trust them?
Well, I have one. It's called LinkedIn Ninja, and and he helps me to create, like.
And you, and
posts.
you've,
Japanese
and
text.
he's definitely a he, or did you name him, or did you, or is that an it? Hang on, have we got female and male AI now? Then we're gonna have non-binary. Let's not go there, right?
Yeah.
Non-binary.
Yeah.
They're definitely binary. Anyway, sorry, you were saying you have a LinkedIn one.
Yeah. Well, I have an idea that I want to write a post about, but I'm not such a good writer, okay? And it takes a lot of time. So I give the idea to my LinkedIn Ninja, and he creates a great post, and I post it. I check it.
Is that why you're here?
Yes.
Because I do believe it works,
Little
because
bit.
that's why you're here, because our producer.
But see, that's the thing that everyone, and no offense,
I
'cause
know where you're
that
going. I know where you're going with this.
I know you are a
Cully
ninja
knowledge.
creator by
Yeah.
yourself. But now, 90% of people on LinkedIn are
sound
content creators.
right?
They
Yes.
all post things there. People who you would have never heard of before. Everyone is an expert in some, and then it becomes so repetitive that you go, okay, so where do we draw the line that it's actually a creative mind that thought this, not the same generative GPT that creates this for everyone across the board.
So
Where do we draw that line?
Yeah, because everyone's at the risk of sounding the same.
Yeah.
And there's a real risk that you sound. Is this a risk or an issue? Don't know. That you sound more intelligent than you are. And
Yes.
and I don't know if that's a good.
not
I don't. And by the way, I don't mean you. I mean, and there's a famous James Bond cue. You don't want to sound more intelligent than you are. You sound more intelligent. Yeah, but it's better than being less intelligent than you. I don't quite know what you. We'll have to Google that, or AI, God forbid.
see.
Yeah.
But you can see where I'm
How
going.
dare use the G word?
Right? And so that there's a risk. I mean, and I write my LinkedIn posts, and I don't spend too much time doing it, and I understand the benefits. The genuine element of it goes, but then you briefed an agent to write it for you. So is that bad? I don't know.
You mean, like, do I understand well that you mean that everyone will just have the same posts?
let's say
depends on how they
not
prompt.
the same post, but everyone will have the same
approach or
structure, same let's say framework, same I don't know, ideas. Like if I want to think of some ideas, and if it's like a creative ideas, and I have to develop it in my own head, that is a completely different idea than if you had the same idea and created in your own head. And then when they both come out in two different parts of the world, they could be completely to a different outcome. Innovations, right? But when you put those ideas into GPT, it's
you're handing
very
it
close.
off.
Yeah, it's very. Those two things are going to be coming out very close to each other, even though maybe not 100%.
Yeah.
And the more that we do this, the more that we put every idea into that and ask them to generate things for us, the more
less
it
creativity
becomes closer to each other, to the point that it all merges together.
I mean, like it learns from what
Yeah, it learns from
So
everybody in the same way.
before you type, I would like to. He goes, I know you want a pink car, right?
Well,
Because you know in Google search terms it says Prague bar, and it will say chicken meat. Because it knows based on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean.
Anticipates.
It anticipates what's.
And this is all only part of the linguistic part of the AI. We're not talking about the wider usage of AI like what you were mentioning earlier. These are all the LLM side of it, the whole GPT side of it. But still, this is what I think 90% of people will ever use. No one will ever use any other point, aspects.
But the LinkedIn stuff's working because that's why you're here. Yeah, so I'm going to do two. What I normally do is I'll ask for one prediction about the future.
Prediction.
Yeah, like what do you think? Well, no, let's not do that because we've kind of talked about that. Let's just go straight in and say there's bad and good things, and you should tell us a little bit about how you can do
Why not?
both.
Just ask, bring out your crystal ball and tell us how you think it's gonna go. In the future and. What is your outcome?
I know how to do it. Right, ready? Yeah. So time is getting on. We can clearly be here, Denisa, and talk all evening about many things, AI and automation. We should get that into the conversation as well. But we're going to have to wrap it up because the lights go off after our reservation here in the secret bunker. So
because we're cheap.
No, he's cheap. We're very expensive, except Denisa, she's very affordable.
Yeah.
But we're going to ask. Listen, there's loads to go through.
Please.
So just before we have to wind up, because we're going to get kicked out of the studio, Denisa, tell us going forward how you can help companies. There's obviously a lot of things to go through here, but there's lots and lots of benefits, and people shouldn't be worried, right?
Okay, so if the company doesn't want to stay at the dinosaur world and do things ineffectively, and wants to make more money, be more effective, and save time. Of course, it has to come to us and doesn't have to be scared because people are scared a lot.
Yeah. And so it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter the size of the company. Bigger companies have smaller functions. And if it's nothing more than doing things slicker and faster, some companies are not interested in making money, but saving it could be interesting for them depending on where they work.
Of course. And it's so easy. Like the problem of the people is that they don't know what can AI and what innovation can do with the company.
And of course it's everywhere. It's built into most tools, built into search engines now. So most people look at it most days and don't know how to use it, right? See, there's lots and lots of good things to come, people. We're going to wrap this up. We're going to thank Denisa. Thank you so much for flying in on the private jet.
This has been lovely. I think we can talk with you another 2 hours.
Yeah, we've probably got another 2 or 3 episodes.
I agree.
It's been great. So thank you for making the trip. Thanks for coming here, sharing your knowledge and experience, and hopefully we'll see you.
Yes.
And
we'll see.
Soon.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that again next time. You use the podcast private jet.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So we're just going to wrap it up before we get kicked out. So from Kenny here on the InfoMatters Podcast,
and Adler, the more talented,
the more talented, slightly better looking Danny. Exactly. We'll see you next time. Take care.